which if you have any questions about the recording, please message us privately and we're happy to talk to you about it. A portion of the service, we will invite you to journal. So now is a good time to grab a notebook and pen if you'd like to participate in that. Please do, if possible for you, find a comfortable space where you can relax and be present for the service. And while we wait for others to join, I am excited to give a little refresher on Psanctuary. Psanctuary Church is a 508c1a faith-based organization. We use psilocybin mushrooms as a sacrament to connect us to divinity. If you, like many others throughout history, hold these mushrooms as a sacrament for sincere and intentional spiritual practice, you can head over to our membership page on psanctuary.org. Becoming a member is a 5-step process, which includes a discovery call with us. After becoming a member, you'll gain access to our membership portal, member-only events, including sacrament opportunities, and our members-only Discord chat. Please do consider donating to Psanctuary. All donations currently go towards operational expenses, which includes securing our location each month that we have on Broadway here in Louisville. We have a great, well, it also helps us with that location having in-person sacrament opportunities for our community. So we have a great vision here at Psanctuary, which includes a community built on sustainability through permaculture and more accessible and frequent opportunities for services with our sacrament for our members. For cash donations, we have a link on our website and we can drop that in the chat here at the end of service. These Sunday services are a place we gather together as a currently small but growing community. Although we do not partake in the sacrament during these services, we find common ground together in our recognition that the mushroom has brought us together. For more information on sacramental services currently available, you may reach out to myself at info@psanctuary.org. And my name's Athena. The service portion of our gathering is around 30 minutes of silent participation on your part. Courtney and I will be facilitating the service today, and Eric will be leading the optional discussion afterwards, which we allow an hour and a half for, so until noon Eastern time. And we do invite you to participate in this conversation if you feel called. We have 2 readings every Sunday. We'll be moving through different texts throughout our time together. Right now, we are reading from the Tao Te Ching, our main text, and Dry Those Tears. We chose these readings because we feel that they communicate the messages we often received from our time spent with the mushroom, but in different ways. We'll also read a poem, our Litany of Gratitude, which is read to acknowledge our oneness with all that is. So I will now give us a few minutes to get started. Please get as comfortable as you can. And thank you again for joining us. And we do hope you stay for discussion afterwards. And if not, we wish you a great Sunday and week ahead. Again, thank you. Welcome for joining. Welcome and thank you for joining our Psanctuary community and celebration. As we begin our statement of faith, we recognize that this statement does not exhaust the full extent of our faith. We believe that sacred mushrooms are a primary source of personal and divine revelation. We seek counsel from the mushroom to find direction and inspiration in our faith practice. And we believe that all individuals who seek true revelation from divinity can do so. So I'll invite Courtney up.
We're going to invite you to participate in this 5 to 10 minute meditation here. So if you're not already comfortable in your seat and position, invite you to get as comfortable as you can. You might just move your fingers and your toes, your head, whatever you need to do to just kind of shake out, wiggle out any morning jitters. And close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. I like to also put my right hand on my heart, my left hand on my belly. Continuing to breathe. And sinking in to right now. This meditation is all about practicing holding space for yourself. This is a safe place to feel out what's going on with you in this moment, in your body, thoughts that are passing through, feelings maybe bringing into this moment. This is a place to just notice what is in this moment. Continue to breathe. And you can even take this opportunity to send some breath, some compassion to whatever you may be feeling, noticing right here in this moment. You may notice your mind drifting away as you relax into the space, and that's okay. Whenever you notice this happening, you always have the opportunity to come back right here into this moment. Just be with yourself. You are noticing that any piece of yourself, whether it be a thought, feeling, or a physical sensation, is really showing up in this moment. I invite you to really let that piece of yourself know that you're here here for it, supporting it, want it to be loved. A few more deep breaths. As we come back into the service space, I invite you to just offer yourself some gratitude for showing up today for yourself and your community. This is a really special place that we have here. When you're ready, your last breath, you can wiggle your toes and your fingers. And just come back into the space, opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Nice, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Courtney. Now invite Greg to do our first reading.
Good morning. This is from Dry Those Tears. It's a continuation of chapter 2. What do you suppose would happen to the minds and bodies of us if everyone realized that there is no death? If everyone realized that they were immortal now? We cannot vouch for others, but we can prove the truth for ourselves and live henceforth in the freedom that comes with the acceptance of the fact of continuous life, of present immortality. If we know God and enter into this presence, we are in heaven this very moment. If we do not know God, if we are unconscious of this presence, we are in hell. Since life is a state of consciousness, we are always in one place or another. We make our own heaven and we make our own hell. Life always finds us in a place that is like our thought or prevailing state of mind. As we die, so shall we live. As we live, so shall we die. Where is heaven, and how are we going to reach it? The old theology represented heaven as a far-off future world to be reached only through death. But that concept makes it unattainable. It presents two insurmountable barriers. One must not only accept heaven as a future state, but also must accept the belief that one is dead. How could one ever know that they are dead? The only place which we can know God, the only heaven, is within our own consciousness. We cannot enter heaven through death, for we cannot be conscious and unconscious at the same time. If there is no death, why are we talking about what goes on after death? Perhaps we should remind ourselves that we are not dealing with death, but our thoughts, our imaginations about death.
Thanks, Greg. We'll now do our litany of gratitude. I invite you to unmute your mics at this time and join me when I say, we live in all things live in us. Give us a moment. We live by the sun, we feel by the moon, we move by the stars. We live in
all things.
all
All
Things
things
live in us.
We eat from the earth, we drink from the rain, we breathe of the air. We live in
all things.
All
Things
live in us.
We call to each other, we listen to each other, our hearts deepen with love and compassion. We live
We live in all things. All things live in us.
We depend on the trees and animals. We depend on the earth. Our minds open with wisdom and insight. We live in
all things.
all
And all
things.
things live in us.
We dedicate our practice to others. We include all forms of life. We celebrate the joy of living and dying. We live in
all things. All things
Live in us.
We are full of life. We are full of death. We are grateful for all beings and companions. If you'd like to go ahead and mute your mics back. And I invite Stephen to do our second reading today.
Good morning. Tao Te Ching, chapter 41. When a wise scholar hears the Tao, he practices it diligently. When a mediocre scholar hears the Tao, he wavers between belief and unbelief. When a worthless scholar hears the Tao, he laughs boisterously at it. But if such a one does not laugh at it, the Tao would not be the Tao. The wise men of old have truly said, the bright way looks dim, the progressive way looks retrograde, the smooth way looks rugged, high virtue looks like an abyss, great whiteness looks spotted, abundant virtue looks deficient, established virtue looks shabby, solid virtue looks as though melted, great squareness has no corners, great talents ripen late, great sound is silent, great form is shapeless, the Tao is hidden and nameless, yet it alone knows how to render help and to fulfill.
Thanks, Stephen. We'll now take around 5 minutes to reflect on our first reading. And we invite you to take a moment and meditate on heaven here and now, not in the future, but presently. Take some notes on what this feels like. Does this give you a different experience in this moment? Does it cause you to feel differently about your own mortality? So if you have that journal nearby, or if you'd like to just take a few minutes to reflect on these questions. All right, if you'd like to take a moment to finish up your thoughts, if you're writing. Begin closing out our service for today, recognizing we've come together with intentions of service to the land and all its inhabitants. It is in our hearts to go forth into the world with a collective consciousness. We encourage you to stay for continued fellowship and conversation around our readings today. And for those unable to stay, we thank you for being with us. As we further our conversation, please remember that all perspectives are welcome as we search for the spiritual truth that unites us all. And just a few announcements. Katrine will her mindfulness sessions this Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. So February 10th and 24th will be the days for those sessions. On February 15th, Eric will be hosting a men's support circle here in town at 4 p.m. And there is a registration link, and that'll be sent out with our newsletter coming soon. On March 12th, Saturday, March 12th, here in town from 12 to 5, we will be opening our doors at our Broadway location and hosting a very small vendor market. Some of our members and some of our friends in the area will be set up, and this will give us the opportunity to get together, to get into the space, see it and be with each other, and check out some goodies from some of our local friends. And then our next 5-night sacrament retreat is scheduled for March 21st through the 26th. So we'll be reaching out to our waitlist members and sending more information out as we prepare and as it gets closer. So if that's something you're interested in, please reach out and we'll be sure to send all the details over.